Well, all this week we've been bringing you the amazing story of Colonel Joe Kittinger's career. And now Staff Sergeant Josh Hauser joins me on set with the third part of the installment on the Colonel. Staff Sergeant, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me on set with you, Petty Officer Wilkin. Now, it's hard to compress a career like Colonel Kittinger's, who has so many achievements, into a few stories, but we felt it was important to bring you, the audience, some of these stories. Our last installment is about the Colonel's 11-month experience as a prisoner of war. It was his third tour in Vietnam. Joe Kittinger was a lieutenant colonel and the commanding officer of the 555th Tactical Fighter Squadron, the Triple Nickel. With one MiG kill under his belt already, he took to the skies over Hanoi once again. Just as he was preparing to take out another communist aircraft, he heard his wingman radio for him to break right, but it was too late.
So one minute I'm doing Mach 2 in the F-4, this beautiful airplane, and then the next minute I'm in a parachute coming down over North Vietnam.
A MiG had snuck up from beneath his aircraft. He was captured immediately and taken to the infamous Hanoi Hilton, where he became the latest new guy.
The new guys were people that were shot down after December '72. They kept them separated from the old guys. They went to great lengths to try to keep us separated, but we defeated that anyway. We had sneaky ways that we could communicate with the old guys, so their attempt to keep us separated failed.
Without knowing it at the time, both the old and new guys were resisting their captors in much the same manner. Even under torture, they were all holding out as best they could. Among the new guys, Kittinger was the senior ranking officer. As such, one of his responsibilities was to demand his captors provide medical attention to the prisoners, something that had been denied to many, including Kittinger. He caused so much trouble for the North Vietnamese that he was temporarily moved in with the old guys. There, he experienced a different kind of interrogation, spending most of his hours answering the questions of fellow Americans who had not had contact with the outside world for years. Fortunately, in March of 1973, he and his fellow brothers in arms were released.
But there was a camaraderie, because we were Americans, we were fighting men, we were sworn to defend the Constitution. And so it was just another assignment that we had to go through and come out with honor.
Kittinger credits that camaraderie for their ability to survive their experience as prisoners of war.
Code of conduct: never give up. Be proud you're American and never give up.
Now, while in prison, Colonel Kittinger would also dream of the times he spent ballooning. Years after his release, he returned to the skies and set a number of other records. Most notably, he's the first person to ever cross the Atlantic Ocean in a gas balloon, and in doing so, he set the record for the longest gas balloon flight.
Staff Sergeant, thank you so much. Colonel Kittinger is obviously a very interesting man, and we want to thank you for that very interesting series.